What the hell was that girl? Tell you one thing, she knows how to just look like a right witch. Now, what are you talking about? The Native Americans, the Redskins. This, it's going to be on depression before I get too far into it and not tell you what I'm doing. I just had my maggot bitch fest. Depression. Post-traumatic stress disorder, depression. Now, post-traumatic stress disorder encompasses all other mental disorders, where manic depressive is usually related in the family and handed down. That's why they'll always ask if your family has it. Post-traumatic stress disorder will mimic every other mental schizoaffective. So behaving like a schizophrenic, being paranoid. Manic depressive is cyclical. For a person without PTSD, it's cyclical. There are chemical changes in the brain, and they could be cyclical throughout the day. They could be cyclical throughout the week, throughout the month, or throughout the year. The difference: post-traumatic stress disorder has injuries. Besides traumatic brain injury, the shock of what we experienced, the longer the shock value, even if people don't behave as such, the MEG scan will detect post-traumatic stress disorder. Why isn't the government using it? It would help too many people out, and then the government would have more enemies. So, post-traumatic stress disorder. And nothing, I know with me, it did not come with a flashback first. Let's show her what's wrong. No. 2 years of deep, dark depressions. Summer to about this time. 2 weeks before Halloween. They got me on this one, but not Halloween. But anyway, I'm over it. Still depressed. Taking my antidepressants. Okay, so now, PTSD depressions. So I got my depressions. I'm a fix-it person. My father died of Huntington's. My brother's dying of Huntington's. I can't afford to be downed. So I'm studying the brain for Huntington's disease. I draw a diagram. I show them exactly where it is. I go to the couple neurologist who told my brother, Barbara Koppel, that in 2 years there'd be a cure for Huntington's. I didn't tell her in a very nice way to go to my brother and tell him that was false. Anyway, it's exactly on that diagram. And they looked at me like I'm a screwball. They looked at me like I was a screwball when I said my brother's going soon. And I mean, I got rid of all of his stuff. Jerry, who do you want this to go to? And I would say things and yada yada. And when he finally died, they all came up to me in St. Boniface in Seacliff at his funeral services and wake services. We didn't think he would go. He was still a... How did you know? Anyway. So these dark depressions, what is it? What finally a head nurse had given me a child abuse book. Different stories. Even Oprah Winfrey was in there, which she didn't have anything compared to me. I'm sorry. Yeah, there is a measuring stick. Somebody who had a car accident compared to a veteran in how many tours, major difference. Major difference. The survival skills are God alone. Because there's so many of us going, how the fuck did we survive that? How? I didn't. I died all the time. God kept putting me, God, I can't stand your people. Don't keep putting me back in my body because I can't stand them. I know what they do to other people. And then the people that buy into them. Anyway, let the weather maker begin. Thump, thump, thump. Boop, boop, boop. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah. Okay, so with our depressions, I'm going into 6 minutes. Okay, the reason we have a depression, whether you have a flashback or not. Now, first, it all has to do with anniversaries. Whether it's tripped ahead of time, it doesn't have to fall on the right date. Whether we purposely seek the things that are going to trigger us because we're all little, even normal, quote unquote, people are always trying to figure out who they are. Well, those of us who've gotten blanked memories because of traumatic situations, we remember a lot. Believe me, there's no one standing that doesn't remember anything that actually has post-traumatic stress disorder. If you don't remember anything, nothing happened. So don't get a psych or a therapist to talk you into something that didn't happen. It happens all the time. So you remember something. Conscious or subconsciously, super id consciously, your body goes through a rev in the beginning. Then there's like a plateau if you have the flashback, and then you go back down. The oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. The reason we have it is the brain did not function properly the first time, which, hey God, we went through it once. What's up with this flashback shit? He knows me. So the body is ready. It's usually in a safe zone. Usually if things are chaotic, our brain is just like, okay, survival mode. Nice and safe. Let's get fucked. This is where we want to be. Now let's be triggered. Anyway, that's the way it goes. So we get into a trigger. And then something happens or it doesn't. Regardless if it does or it doesn't. There's a depression after. It's a mourning. And in that mourning, our chemistry, because of the neurons in connectors that were flared, the locked off parts that were flared into memory, and not in a symmetrical sync kind of way, very chaotic. Not, oh, once upon a time there was a nice little genie and gave me 3 wishes. No. And then shoved out like a babe in the woods, and we have to mourn. So I see a lot of people with PTSD being claimed as bipolar, unless it runs in your family. But I'm just trying to give you a scenario. So in the beginning stages of wanting to run away, you want to run away when an anniversary is starting, because there's just this impending doom feeling or escalation or something. That's the manic of that would be the manic if you were bipolar. But ours is for real. There's reasons for it. And then there's the explosion. We could be, if it happens, or even if it's not, super paranoid, super hypervigilant. Then there's the shock again. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. The registering, eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing. So it's reprocessing, but in that reprocessing, there's going to be a mourning period, and that's our depression. So our depression isn't because it's cyclical in our brains like manic depressive. It's cyclical because we're re-experiencing where our brain is at a safe place, not that we want it to, and it's mourning. It's mourning what we had to deal with. It's mourning the situation. It's mourning others. It's mourning our own experiences. It's mourning. It's not a chemistry imbalanced depression. There's a reason for it. So I know I'm going into this a little bit more, but I just want those who have it to have these little informational keys so you can go, oh, okay, that time I saw what I was doing. And then when I hung out with that angry crew, because I was angry, man, did that set me off. And then if I keep watching this, because I have to watch this, I gotta keep digging in this area. We're searching for clues we don't need to be searching for. And that's only experience telling experience. When you're digging, stop. Boy, are you going to wake up a doorway inside you don't want to see the end of. I'd have to live 1,000 lives to go through every single flashback, because I have flashbacks of the same day in different years of my adulthood. It could be 2 minutes after, because it was nonstop when the chaos was going on. It was nonstop. It was disgust. Oh, what an error. Ugh. Maggots, hippie maggots. Anyway, I hope that helped. And so you want to reassess anybody in the military or anybody else. You want post-traumatic stress disorder on your charts. You want that to be your primary. Because when you have episodes, your primary, I've been psychotic. I've been, schizoid affective. During whatever part you're in, that's what they're going to label you as. Psych units to me is nothing. I had some fun in psych units. I made a whole bunch of frauds come out. Come out, confess, I'm right here and I'm locked in with you. Alright, there's nothing wrong with me. One multiple personality. If she only had a clue. Boop, 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 boop. And the doctors would ask me to get the schizophrenics to take their medicine. I never got paid, but I did a lot of work inside, Anyway. Hope that helped. Ciao. And the Redskins, to me, White Wolf, sincerest form of flattery is imitation. To other ones that are having a powwow in North Carolina, they don't want the Redskins to remain the Redskins because of the Native American attachment. That's them. And I didn't mind the tomahawk either. You could just put on Native Americans on that team, though. Yeah. How about a bridge building Native America? Anyway, God bless the USA. Patriotic White Wolf. God's country.